I love myself at and in every evolution, both beneficial and non-beneficial. I give myself permission to evolve as often as I need to in any way that I need to without explanation.
Hello and welcome back yet again to another video. So in today's video, we're just going to be talking about how it is being a woman in today's society. We're going to talk about mental health as a woman. We're going to touch a topic on relationships. Today we have a special guest with us, my sister. I know you guys seen her in a few of my videos from a long time ago, but now we're bringing her back because we're both in a different space right now.
Thank you so much for having me on your channel.
Yes, of course. Introduce yourself.
So my name is Aisha. I usually go by Bree with my family, so you may hear her slip up and say Bree or whatever. Alright, I'm just a young female, 26-year-old woman navigating being a mother, being a studio owner, business owner, just trying to be sane, also being a chef, which is also so interesting. So I'm just navigating through life for my very first time.
Yes.
It's also, if you have any children or want to come by my Performing Arts Center here located in Augusta, Georgia. Show my little business card. Boom. Shot one. Boom. So right there you have my contact information. Everything included. Hit me up. Come see me if you want to step down. We also have merch available as well. It's Toxic House of Elite Performing Arts Center here in Augusta, Georgia. It's this hoodie. Our whole team, family, supporters have them. If you are interested in purchasing this hoodie, it is $40. I'll have all the information, everything. But yes, please support. I do want to also add that we are a nonprofit organization as well, the dance company, Toxic Elite Dance Company. So everything literally goes towards the dancers. And these are dancers that don't really have a lot of resources. They're in low-income homes or don't have any support at all.
So that is her information. If you guys are interested in joining the studio and learning how to dance, and you have some kids who are interested, check that link out.
Yeah,
in the link below.
But thank you so much for having me on your channel. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing well. Okay. I feel like I'm in a very great space right now, making very smart decisions for myself.
That's a really nice space to be in. Yeah, I can honestly relate to that as well. You know what popped up in my head, which recently started happening, is wasps. There's been so many wasps surrounding my house lately, and I looked it up, and it was basically like saying something about hardworking, resilient decisions, business decisions. Just a reminder of making the right decisions, being on the right path. So, but girl, that thing's draining. Nobody tell you about that side. Nobody tell you about that one.
No, they do not.
They do not.
So for our first topic of discussion, we're going to talk about being a proactive woman and how is it being that type of woman and holding so many different titles and getting so many things done. And how being that type of woman and being able to keep it going.
How is that for you? Because you have been doing your thing out in Atlanta, doing your grind out in the offices and stuff, and it's been a little minute for you. How is that journey been for you?
Yes, so I feel like it took some time to be in the space that I am in right now. I would say that once I put myself on a routine and started taking better care of myself, I was able to pour into all of these other cups and things that I wanted to do. Yes.
Yeah, that's what's up.
It's very important to take care of yourself.
That's something I actually need to. I'm actually working on doing better, and something I need to incorporate is more discipline within my like home space. Like have more discipline within like business space, a little bit with work, but having that discipline in the home space, and how does that show up in the different ones? Like it be trying to peek through.
Yes.
So now that I'm aware of those little things and little things I can just correct about myself, I definitely am. Let's implement it. So that's really nice.
Yes.
Yeah. It seems so hard. It's so difficult for me. It feels difficult for me, like maintaining that discipline and not being like, it's my world. Like, if you feel this way today, like not reacting off emotions, not moving off emotions. I do it to a certain extent because I still show up in that capacity, but still, when it comes to myself, at the end of the day, that's where I struggle with more.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you're able to show up in those areas in your life, but it's hard showing up for yourself.
Yeah. At the end of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like we have like the opposite effect going on. Like you're still able to show up for others, but it's hard for you to show up for yourself. And with me, it's easier to show up for myself, but sometimes it's hard to show up for other things. Yes.
Okay, that's a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
So what are some things that help you show up for yourself? Like what are some things?
So showing up for myself looks like staying on top of a routine, getting up at a decent time, going to sleep at a decent time, writing out things that I need to do, taking good care of my body, not just working out, but also what I feed myself, choosing different options, and also having balance in the work area, but then also the young adult area. So, work and play. Yes.
Right. I totally get that. I feel like I struggle a little bit more when it comes to myself is because of my schedule and I just really need to prioritize myself, and I'm trying to find the balance because throughout the day I work as a chef, and then right afterwards, evening time, right after I get off work, I'm heading to dance practice and I'm picking up kids and stuff. By the time I leave dance practice in the studio, it's probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm still dropping off kids, so I'm getting home like 9 o'clock, 9:30.
Yeah.
And then I have a daughter myself. I'm a young single mom. Head of household, but I still have to make sure my daughter needs is being met as well, which is giving her a bath, making sure she's doing her homework or a book or eating dinner, blah blah blah. And by the time she's going to bed and I look up, it's 10:30 going on 11 o'clock, and I still didn't have really that time to myself. So that time I do put to myself is literally to myself, or I choose it to be on the phone, or I choose it to I do different things. It's not always on the phone, but I find it difficult to incorporate home, staying on top of me, my self-care as well.
Do you feel like you get a chance to prepare on the weekends a little more for the week? Have you been working towards doing that a bit more? Like preparing, like maybe make a meal that'll last a few days, or like what are some things that do help you?
So as of lately, I have things set up where it is a little bit easier for me. So like during the week, I don't have to worry about food or nothing. My job provides food, so I don't have to worry about that. It's really just on the weekends, and I'm okay with that type of thing. And as of lately, on the weekends, I've had to my presence is very heavy with the studio. So we have a lot of fundraisers, we have different events, we have campaign meetings, we have. I just recently went to a fundraiser event and met the mayor, Gary Johnson of Augusta, and got running for commissioner that we recently partnered up with Don Clark. So we have different meetings, different events and things within the community, within the Board of Augusta. So
Yes.
it's always like a busy schedule.
Right.
It's always a busy schedule. But now this weekend, starting today actually, was like my catch-up day. So tomorrow, it will be like a reset day that I need to actually put towards resetting and not self-sabotaging. Yeah, you heard that. Okay. But yeah, so I really need to set aside that time tomorrow while I do have it, because one thing I did learn is life will continue going.
Yes.
And whether or not you are under the weather or on top of it, it's still gonna go. And how you show up for yourself is how you show up. And you have to know that's just the way life goes.
Yes. So, in being a proactive woman, I want to talk about what stumped me for so long or kept me from moving forward. Previously, it was hard for me to move forward because maybe I was letting fear and anxiety get the best of me, or I was seeing how others did it and then I would try to emulate it, but it just didn't work for me. And I wouldn't necessarily say I have like a set schedule. I just do what works for me. I know the times that I do have more time available to do certain things, and so I just do it then. But I was stumped for so long because you see other people having the result of things, but you don't know what it took to get that result.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree to that. That's something that I struggle with because a long time I didn't know what I was going to do or what my career would be or what I would do as a grown up. Because during like those high school years and stuff like that, it's really like embedded in you. Like you need to figure out what you're going to do. Like that thought process starts, and then you go to college, and then whether or not you're in college or not, it's still those 20s, those early 20s. It's like that stage of I should have my life together, or I should be on the road to figure it together, but you literally at ground zero. Yes. And so it's just like a constant comparison. But something that I've actually like really resonated with me, that's kind of been like my quota for the week, month, or whatever, that I've been kind of planting seeds to other people about as well, is there's literally only two people in the world. Like, and it's always the cliche little cute little simple sayings that holds the most truth. Like, it's only two people. It's like the overthinkers and it's the doers, for real. And the only difference between me and anyone else or whoever I'm comparing myself to is that they're actually doing it and following through and having that action behind it, versus overthinking and self-sabotaging and having that fear and everything else holding you back, because nobody knows what they're doing. That is literally the secret. Right. Nobody knows what they're doing. They're doing it for the first time, and we're all just figuring it out. But the more you do it, the more practice you have, the easier it feels, the easier it comes to you. But yes, definitely just acting on things instead of just overthinking it and allowing that thought to just overtake your brain.
Yes.
And let it possess you, because girl, them things will possess you, because it would keep you stagnant, keep you in one place, paralyzed.
If you allow that to happen. Everything is a choice.
Right.
All it takes is you doing something one time and repeating it Even if it's just not completely doing the full thing, but making those small steps towards whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And sometimes you may even need to tell yourself, like, no, I don't want to think this way. I want to get this done. Like, you have to talk to yourself and push yourself through things to be able to get things done.
Something for me, though, that helped me, because I felt like I was stuck between not knowing what I wanted to do or what it was for real. It's literally when you start like focusing on yourself and taking care of yourself and pouring into yourself and your passion comes to you.
Yes.
And you know it's like a seed planted into you, and it works like fire, and it's your choice of whether or not you act on it or not. But once you act on it, things move for you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So, secret to finding your career, finding your passion, focus on yourself.
Focus on yourself, babe.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm saying. Cheers. So I just heard like a guy on TikTok, and a #1 red flag. And I wish somebody would have told me this sooner when I was younger, around my 20s, 19s, college, whatever, high school. Definitely high school, because I see it with the girls. Being a man's piece. I just want to say that right there. Being a man's piece and navigating and picking out the guys that want the female to provide. Like, if you hear a guy say, provide me peace and be in my peace.
So I feel like this topic is more so for younger women, but also just all women in general. But I really want to stress the point of young women, okay? Because I feel like a lot of women sometimes focus so much on a man and relationships in general instead of really focusing on who you are as a person, what you want to do with your life, how you want your life to look, or even just how you feel in general. Your focus is so much on a man, you're sort of skewered or slighted in other areas of your life because you're just so focused on a guy. In doing so, you may, make some wrong choices. So, on the topic of being a man's piece, what is that? What is that? I keep making faces because it's like, what?
Right.
Being a man's piece.
Let me just go ahead and make that clear the area and put it out there. You never want to be anyone's piece, let alone your man or whoever that you decide to come together with. They should be able to provide their own piece. You should have your own piece as well within yourself, and then you guys collide your peaceful kind together.
Yes, yes.
And create something a whole nother peaceful, grateful, ambiance. The last thing I'm really going to touch on with relationships, something that I really feel like young women, just women in general, because it really isn't just young women. I really feel like a lot of women don't really have the opportunity to really be able to see their light, so they're manipulated easily, no matter the age, in a way.
So you're saying that some women don't have a strong sense of self.
Yes.
And so they're easily...
Yes, they're able to be misguided by the wrong person. But just falling for that potential, because that even goes into like being a man's piece. Something I experienced, especially being a dance coach, having a lot of teenagers and stuff like that, or just dealing with a lot of young adults, they come across a lot of troubled young guys, right? And they have a lot of these issues going on, and he's such a great guy, but he's beating this case, and he's going through this, or whatever the case may be. But I know he's a great person. He could be a great... Stop. Think about the present of what his presence is bringing in the present.
Yes.
That is something, that is the real him, and not falling for that potential. And anyone, like, stick to their characters of what they are showing you today, now, and how are they treating you today, or how are they handling you carefully? How are they moving? That is very, very important. I really feel like a lot of girls, whoever young people, it's a lot of caught up in potentials versus what someone is actually showing you.
Right. Throw away those rose-colored glasses and listen with your ears. Listen.
Right.
Listen, okay?
Because they'll tell you.
Do not ignore the red flags. Do not allow people to run in and out your life. Do not give things up easily. Make these people work for you. Mm-hmm. Work for you and what you want. Stop over giving. Men like to work, okay? They appreciate what they work for. Take your time, okay?
Right.
Take your time. I do not believe in building with a man.
I believe in building a man, but what are we building from? What's the foundation? That's the thing for me. Because we can have our own individually, and we can come together and build something new and something better. That's building up a man.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I would never build up a man.
Yeah. A lot of women nowadays are giving men cars and their name and houses and clothes and all of these other things, but this man doesn't have anything, and he does more taking than giving. And what are you doing? It's like essentially you're setting yourself up to always get the short end of a stick with this person. Yeah. And then eventually you don't even end up with that person, or it doesn't necessarily work out. And if it does, you're not happy.
Right.
Unless that's what you want, you know.
Right.
Make it do what it do. What is something that we have learned in our past relationships? Yes. So what I've learned in my past relationships is to take my time. Don't allow myself to be confused by others. I feel like I was a bit confused at times, possibly in my past. It's like I was clear on what I wanted, but I maybe would allow others to confuse me on what I wanted. And so there was just a lot of back and forth, like confusion essentially. And so I learned to make clear decisions, have boundaries, and have more self-awareness within myself to know what it is that I want moving forward.
Yeah. I feel like something that I learned about myself in my previous relationship was that I guess I can also kind of piggyback onto people-pleasing ways as well. Also, like, just me not really having that identity with myself, like that strong identity within myself, because I was more bendable, more moldable to that other person of what their interests are. It started to become my interests, which is normal in a relationship of any kind. But you also need to have still like a strong backbone of what your morals, what your identity lies in. Like, say for instance, an example would be, okay, this is the first example. If you like a specific food or something, I'm not sure this is the great example, and I didn't really care for this food. I already verbally said this out loud or whatever the case may be. However, going forward, now that I know that it's his favorite food, I love this food. I like it. I like it too. It reminds me of home. Yeah, of where we're from.
Well, so what do you mean you ended up liking the food that you didn't?
I
didn't
love
like it. So did you ever like it?
Probably not. I have better. My grandma cooks better. But I love it. I love it. It's the best food.
Yeah.
And that could go for like food. It can go for just being more bendable.
And being a proactive woman and being a woman who wears so many hats and has pushed past a lot of things, I wouldn't have been able to do that without taking care of my mental health.
Yeah,
don't you think?
I definitely agree.
Some things that I have implemented that work for me, that really takes care of my mental health, is I keep going back to it. It's exercise. Getting out in nature for me is a huge way for me to rejuvenate, letting the sun get on my face, at times lessening my screen time, getting some sleep. And honestly, I don't know what it is, but it's like lately I can run off 5 or 6 hours. It's just that I need to get off the phone, like disconnect essentially. To be able to push through. So
yeah, I definitely agree. Self-care definitely looks so many different ways for me, right? So it can be, especially when I get off work, I usually sit outside in the back on my porch and just breathe some fresh breath, get some sun on my skin. Like, you don't know how much that helps me and gets me through my day. That definitely energizes my battery just a little bit to push me to get through the day. Another way I've been doing a lot more lately, I've actually been trying to figure out the balance, which it naturally works itself out because I have such a busy schedule just in general. Right now my life is a little hectic. When I do have time for me, it is me time. Like, I'm not reaching out, I'm not on my phone, I'm not calling no one, I'm not doing it. I'm literally prioritizing myself and just spending time with me, or just being more present. That's really helpful for me.
setting boundaries is a huge part of my mental health and being able to accomplish things and get a lot done. It's like, in a sense, feeding me again so I can take on the next task or do what it is that I need to do.
Right. It's making sure that my energy battery is where it needs to be when I'm most needed. Yeah.
Because I know sometimes it's like, if you don't allow yourself that time, you become overstimulated because you're going from task to task. And then I know for me at times I would psych myself out because now I'm like overstimulated and I'm listening to these voices in my head. That's not what I truly what I want to do with my heart by slacking off or whatever. But by me not listening to those voices, I'm actually disciplining myself by doing what I said I was going to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've noticed with me, once I start listening to those voices, I find myself in a pattern of, I call it going to the sunken place. If I don't prioritize myself and my energy social bar is low and depleted because I done gave it all away, now I'm not quite sad, but I'm not quite happy, and I can't figure out why. Or now I'm in the bed for a lot longer than what I usually am, or I'm in one place, or I'm just I'm going into a rabbit hole of being depressed or having symptoms of depression.
Do you feel like movement helps you come out of depression, like getting things done?
Yes, most definitely. Moving your body definitely helps, because I really just feel like depression is just a stagnancy of energy in your body. Well, this is my experience as well. I've really just noticed for myself is I usually get sad, or I usually go into those spells when I let those emotions overstimulate me and overtake my body for a prolonged period of time. So now that it's fully taken over 75% of my body, yeah, it wants to paralyze me. It wants to keep me in one spot. But that movement, baby, that's the freedom right there. Because really, it's just the getting up and doing it is the hardest part. Because once you actually get the movement, you find out it's really not that hard to do. It wasn't hard at all.
And I also want to say that even if at times you may self-sabotage yourself from doing what it is that you truly want to do, know that it's okay. Just don't keep yourself in that space.
Right.
It's okay to make mistakes. It's different if you continue to do the same thing.
Right, give yourself praise.
So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys like videos like this. If you do, Let me know in the comments down below. I love these girl talk videos. I feel like we connect more and we talk about a lot of different things that maybe are talked about, but maybe it's not talked about in a way that you can comprehend, or you just are not fully understanding.
I definitely feel like these girl talks are needed, especially for our younger girls, so they won't feel like they're so alone or have to figure out or do things by themselves.
You are not alone, honey, okay?
Right.
I promise you are not alone. We all have our own journey, and even though you may feel like your journey doesn't look like how others are supposed to look, that is A-okay. It's not supposed to look the same.
Right.
It's not supposed to look the same. You make it feel and look like how you want it to feel and look. So do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, okay? Subscribe, okay, to be notified for when I make more videos.
Ring that notification bell, guys. Oh my God.
We'll see you next time.